the two of them, my elder brother, me, and my cousin, two big people, all of us used to sleep in a very small room like this. It's not even bigger than this bed, I swear. I don't know about my brother. I don't know about my brothers. My mother said, my father said, my own, every time it's my mother said, It's my mother, I don't used to go there. She was one to that.
MENSAN.
It's okay now.
Because of that, I went to law school.
They've called you 5 times. It's okay.
And I didn't even
The fuck?
MENSAN.
Yes, Big Brother.
Your head of house considers you his friend. Have you raised your concerns with him?
I don't feel advise anybody. I can never advise anybody again. If anybody likes, they should do it. But I'm not advising shit.
This season is going to be hectic. Yep. I can feel it. I can see it. This season, it's going to be a battle of the criers. It's going to be tears overflow. Tears are just going to be raining in Big Brother's house every single day. As a matter of fact, the diary session is going to be a battle for the criest, the best crier in the house. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I watched MENSAN's diary session and oh my God, I'm not going to lie, I was really triggered. Not in a good way. I was really triggered. Because tell me why. Oh God. Where do I even begin? You know, Jesus. MENSAN's diary session really sparked up a lot of conversations on the internet today. Let me begin with that, all right? It sparked up a lot of conversations, set the internet on fire for a bit. And if I'm going to talk about it from an analytical perspective of the game, I would say that that was actually a good thing, because one thing about being a housemate on Big Brother, right? You want to drive conversations. You want to be a conversation starter. You want to be on the trends list. You want to be top on the trends list. You want to bring traffic to the show. You want to do things that people are just going to be talking about, arguing about. People are just going to be, you're just going to cause chaos outside the house, not just inside the house, but outside the house. So watching MENSAN's diary session, I must give it to him. This guy is really working hard for that 150 million naira worth of prizes, because, I mean, just 2 days ago, this guy, what is 2 days ago, right from his intro on the stage with Ebuka, this guy was already bringing down fire and brimstone, got into the house right from the door, drama overload. Inside the house, he has been terrorizing his fellow housemates. And then 2 days ago, this guy burnt down the whole house. Not like literally now, but it scattered everywhere with his drama, with K-Bubble. And then, you know, the impact was really heavy on the outside. People were so excited. I mean, mixed feelings out there, right? Because this person was actually giving us something to talk about. He was giving us entertainment, was giving us drama via all the chaos that he was causing. So from the game's point of view, I give him his flowers. The guy, that is a player right there. That is a player. A player will trigger, will play with emotions, do everything it takes to rile up the viewers and the fellow housemates inside the house. So the guy is really doing all that. However, or should I say, but, a massive big but. There's a thin line between really riling up the viewers to really like you enough to want to see you more on their screens, right? And really riling up the viewers to the point of irritation where they don't want to see you anymore. And I'm going to be frank with all of you, MENSAN almost crossed that line. In fact, for a lot of people, I don't know if he did. For me, I think he kind of did. But I'm not going to say I'm speaking for everybody, right? So I'm just going to put it in the middle. MENSAN almost crossed that line of being so chaotic and dramatic, pulling off theatrics in the diary room to the of entertainment, you know, being dramatic for entertainment, over to the other line of being dramatic to irritation. Yeah. And it kind of made me worried for him, because you want to stay consistent. You want to stay consistent with the content you're giving. You want to stay consistent with viewers loving you for the content you are serving, but you don't want to overdo it. So I'm going to spill the tea on this video, the juicy tea, everything that happened in MENSAN's diary session. Now, this video is supposed to be like a proper video analyzing all the sessions of all the housemates that had their diary session today, but I'm not going to do it that way because currently they are still having their diary session, right? And I think it's about 9 housemates remaining. We've had 20 housemates so far that has had their session. So we have about 9 housemates that are still having their session. So there's going to be another video to share details of those housemates diary session, all right? But on this video, I'm going to be talking about MENSAN and Rude Boy. Yes, I'm going to be taking those two. Yes, MENSAN and Rude Boy, right? Now, whilst MENSAN kind of irritated viewers with his diary session, Rude Boy, on the other hand, Rude Boy came to kind of show that aside the facade of all of his playfulness, of all of his my guy, my G agenda he brought to the house, that beneath all of that, there is another Rude Boy. And that Rude Boy, yes, he's a player, but there's also a bit of envy right there. So ladies and gentlemen, make sure you watch this video to the end. Don't skip out on any parts. There's a lot you do not want to miss out on, all right? And before we get into it, hi, you're especially welcome back to my channel. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah, and I am the girl with the tea. Yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the details of this video. Now, before I get into the details of MENSAN's diary session, I want to first commend the man. You see, MENSAN is very smart, very intelligent, and very creative, intentionally creative. I don't know how many of you have noticed his outfits every day since Monday. Yeah, the guys got into the house Sunday evening. Yeah, so today's Thursday. I don't know how many of you have noticed his outfits every single day. On Monday, he was wearing like a Delta chief costume outfit. On Tuesday, he was wearing a medical doctor's outfit. Let's call it costume. Yesterday, Wednesday, he was putting on the vest, bulletproof vest of the police, right? And then today, he is putting on the what they call it now. God, what they call these outfits that people wear? It's is it dungarees or what? Is it dungarees? I think that's the name. But this outfit that prison inmates wear, yeah, that is what he's wearing today. And he has handcuffs cuffed to one wrist. I look at this young man and oh my goodness, in my head, I was already piecing together the significance of his outfits, because for me, I believe that there's a story behind every single one of it. And I appreciated it more because it got me thinking that this is new, this is fresh, this is unheard of. I've never seen any previous Big Brother housemate pull off such intentionality in terms of how they want to represent themselves or their people or wherever they are coming from. You know, and the fact that I was able to take her time to pack up all of this and come to Big Brother's house and adorn all of these things proudly, not saying anything, but just basically silently sending a message, guys, it made me appreciate it more. And it got me thinking a lot, right? You know, but just to my suspicion, when he got into the diary room, Big Brother, of course, acknowledged his creativity and questioned him about it. And of course, the guy was blabbing too much. He was talking too much. He was explaining that where he is from, Anthony Island in the Niger Delta area, right? That they have no notable public figure. They don't even have celebrities like that. They don't even have, let's just say public figures like celebrities representing them in the entertainment space, you know. I think, and the thing about the Niger Delta area of Nigeria is it's mostly about politics, you know, it's thick over there. And of course, they also have oil, you know, they're more like the major oil well in Nigeria. So he said all of those costumes are to tell their story, their struggles and all whatnot. But because he was blabbing too much, there wasn't enough time for him to explain. So Big Brother told him, don't worry, because he said he wanted to do a documentary that one day, if Big Brother allows it, he would love to really tell his story. And I'm really hoping that there's an opportunity for him to do so during one of these wager task presentation, and even probably even this one, because the theme of the week is unmasking. So I'm really hoping that he doesn't disappoint, that his presentation during the wager reflects the message he really wants to pass to the viewers, right? And I think he's doing a great job at representing his people, aside all the drama and chaos. Now, away from that, he was talking about the issue he had with K Bobo, right? Because Big Brother had asked him, he had made reference to it as K Bobo being one of those housemates that surprised him in the negative way. And they had gone ahead to share. Guys, I did a video about it. I told you guys all about it, all right? But he was telling the story from his own perspective. And he claimed that K Bobo kind of insulted his mother by asking, who born you? He said that that is the same question that K Bobo asked Koyi. Now, your papa get Lagos. That for him, that was an insult. That K Bobo was a bully. K Bobo was bullying. So what I noticed was that throughout the diary session, he was heavily pushing the narrative that K Bobo is a bully. He was heavily trying to stick that label on K Bobo, that K Bobo is a bully. And then to buttress his point, this guy started raining tears. See, I'm not even talking about somebody talking and crying, you know, like just silently shedding tears. I'm talking about a grown man who is hungry for that 150 million naira worth of prizes, who is hungry for this fame, crying like, my brother, this is my mother. He was literally telling us the story about his life, you know, about how he suffered, his mother did this, his family is from here. It was telling us his tale of woes, about how life has been so unfair, how he's desperate to win, how he wants the money. And there were times, because he was, at some point, he was actually really blabbing. Yeah, like he was crying, like really crying. He was crying. He was even, at some point, it seemed like he was going to start wailing. You know, he was crying and crying and talking and talking and talking. And there was so much emphasis on how he has really suffered, how he has really gone through a lot in his life, how somebody looked at him and told him that, oh, during his audition, he picked a trophy, that it means he's going to win something. So he was saying that he came to Big Brother's house and he's saying that, oh, he hopes that he wins, that he has to win, he has to become something. From everything he was talking about, even whilst bawling out his eyes, there were times where he was blatantly, like, it felt like he was begging the viewers to choose him to win because of what he has been through in his life and because of where he is coming from. He went on and on and on. And as I said, his diary session was very crazy and chaotic, because the guy was going off. Like, he was just blabbing, sometimes mixed stories that did not make sense. To the point that, because it was non-stop, Big Brother kept on calling him. In fact, Big Brother called him 4 times. MENSAN. Waited for like some minutes. MENSAN. The guy did not answer, but I was still going off. Like, this guy was spiraling out of control. It became very annoying. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not even exaggerating. It became annoying. Because initially, when he started talking, I mean, you could see where he was coming from, and you could relate if you have been through hard times in your life. But when he continued and he was then blabbing and was sort of hammering on K Bobo, bullying him, insulting his mother, I said, nah, this is an agenda. This guy really wants this agenda to agenda. He wants this label of K Bobo being a bully to stick. So Big Brother was kind of offended, like pissed, and Big Brother in a stern voice cautioned him that he called him 4 times and he did not respond, that no matter how scattered his feelings are, next time when he calls him, he must answer. And guys, I was so happy that Big Brother had to caution him, because he really went overboard. That was a lot. There's a way you forget your emotions in front of Big Brother. Don't overdo it, because when you overdo it, it gets to the point of irritation. Now, Big Brother asked him a very important question, that as much as you say you are very fluent in pidgin, because the guy came to the diary room to tell us that this is the first time he is consistently speaking English, that in his real life, He doesn't really speak English. He's always pidgin. So Big Brother asked him that, okay, since you're very consistent in speaking pidgin, are you sure that what K-Bobo asked you, who born you, are you sure that it meant to say all of those nasty things about your mother? And he was still insistent, like this guy was standing on his grounds, that yes, that is what K-Bobo said, that is what he meant. He believes that K-Bobo was insulting his mother. Ladies and gentlemen, I got tired because he did not stop. He continued on with the story of how he has suffered in life. I was so tired, I'm not gonna lie. I was so tired, I went to Twitter and I posted this. Yeah, because it has to be said that the Big Brother show is not a charity show. They're not I don't think that the brand itself is a charity organization. So I would never be one of those viewers, analysts that will come here and say, oh, because this housemate has suffered so much in their life, they deserve the money. The viewers should vote for them to win. I will never. Because that is not what we're doing here. That's not what's happening here. It's an entertainment show. You're going to learn morals, you're going to learn things about life, but entertainment it is. And it's a competition as well. Games will be played. That is why we always say, may the best man or woman win. May the best player win. We're not saying, may the best poverty-infested person win. We're not saying, may the person that has really suffered in life, may the person that has sold puff puff and fufu and hawked it on the road, may the person that packed poop and whatever or cleans the streets of wherever they live, let the person win. We're not saying that the person that has the best sub-story should win. We say, may the best player win. That is why at the start of this video, I said that in terms of the game, I give it to MENSAN. The guy is really good at driving conversations. I mean, look, we're talking about him right now. He's really good at creating chaos. He's a very chaotic person, right? And he's really doing it for entertainment. And we love the entertainment. We enjoy the entertainment. But that is what we're seeing. We're not seeing, oh, because you have suffered. I mean, come on, look at all the 29 housemates in total. If you listen to all of their stories, there are a lot of them that also have very, very heavy sub-stories. Some of them are privileged, born into wealth. There is the Princess Sabrina. There is the Prince, what's his name? Kaikumi. There's another Prince, Faith. I don't know if Otega is really a prince. I'm not really sure. But at least we have 2 royalties in that house, or 3 royalties rather. And here's the fact, ladies and gentlemen. If it turns out that any of those royalties turn out to be the best player of the season, they deserve the win. Yeah, it doesn't matter if they own Nigeria. It doesn't matter if they are Elon Musk's kid. It doesn't matter if they swim in luxury or money already. It doesn't matter. They came to play a game. So if it turns out that they are the best players, if it turns out that they impressed viewers the most and they get to the finals and it's time for them to win, let them win. Anyways, I would love to hear your thoughts about all I have shared about MENSAN's diary session, all right? And I think it's time for me to put out this disclaimer because I sort of received some attacks from MENSAN's fans already. A lot of them were upset with my tweet. They said that, oh, I cannot relate. I should leave the boy alone. I cannot relate. Some people are saying that, oh, he's crying and telling his story. And I'm thinking, listen, for those of you that are passionate fans and stans of your fave, I think you need to do it in peace and let those of us who are not as exuberant in stanship, as you, allow us to analyze the show according to our own personal experience of the show. All right. And I think everybody will be happy at the end of the day. Let's try to enjoy this season without the toxicity. All right. Now, quickly moving on to Rude Boy's diary session. Listen, Rude Boy's diary session was so revealing. Yeah. You see that disagreement he had with Jason J, his friend, his paddy, his bro, his guy. Omo Iyami, that is my mother's son, my mother's child. In other words, his brother. Ladies and gentlemen, the guy, is still holding it to heart. I mean, he's still holding it as a grudge. He reported it to Big Brother when Big Brother asked him about housemates that surprised him negatively. You know, he told Big Brother all about it. And from the way he told the story, guys, I did a video about all of these things. So in case you missed out, please check out those videos, right? So the way he explained it, well, I'm sorry, but from the perspective of a true gamer, I really admired the fact that he did not withhold sentiments whilst telling his side of the story. Because at the end of the day, every man for himself. These housemates came to the house to play a game. You cannot come and, you know, play the Big Brother game with your best friend and you want to be considering friendship over you winning. Sometimes you need to be able to manage your friendship and the game itself. But it was very obvious that Rude Boy inside the house and even in the diary room might not be the type of person that knows how to play with tact. Yeah. He doesn't know how to hide his feelings, right? And it came off as envy because, of course, just as Big Brother was asking all the housemates during the diary sessions, he also asked Rude Boy what he thought about Jason J, the new head of house. And Jason J, he was saying that he doesn't think Rude Boy was saying he doesn't think Jason is a good leader because he allows any and everybody to have an opinion over the wager task. And he listens to everybody all the time. And what else was that thing he said? He said, oh, when Big Brother told him to choose competitions or challengers for the head of house challenger, that's why did Jason go ahead to pick him and other people? That it doesn't make sense, that it made him feel some type of way. That it shows that Jason J does not believe he can be a head of house. It shows that Jason J cannot be a good leader, or he's not confident in himself as a leader, and that is not the characteristics of a good leader. And this guy was talking and it felt like my brain was skipping because I was holding on to my sanity and I was thinking, oh my goodness, this guy completely lacks comprehension. Because it just goes to show that all the questions Culture was asking in the arena that day about the head of house challenger, and even in the lounge, and Big Brother was giving clarity and explaining, it goes to show that Rude Boy was not present. He was there in person, but his mind was not there, was not present, because it just goes to show that he does not understand what the head of house challenger truly means. And Big Brother did not even bother to correct him. It just goes to show that he thought, or maybe he feels, that the head of house challenger is an option. That as the head of house that won the head of house challenge on Sunday, you can decide to retain your title. And I'm thinking, dude, it's a requirement. It's not an option. The head of house challenger is not a freaking option. It's a requirement. Until when Big Brother says it is no longer a requirement, just as it was during the Big Brother and Zamzi season. I could also see an individual that is trying not to be loyal to his friends inside the house so that it does not affect his chances of winning the show. But then the question I had in mind was, is he doing it the right way? Because you know, one thing is, it could backfire. Viewers do not like traitors. Viewers do not like friends who betray friends, right? So it could swing both ways for him. People might applaud him and say, oh, guy, you're doing the right thing. You came for the money, you walked alone into the house, so do your thing. Other people might say, they don't like it. He's a traitor, blah, blah, blah. So guys, what do you think? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Now, he also complained about Otega's controlling attitude, his bossy nature, you know. In fact, I even did not mention that Big Brother had asked Rude Boy if he's going to leverage on his friendship with Jason J to have a conversation with him about all of his complaints about shortage of food, kitchen duties, all the problem that's going on in the house. And also Otega always wanted to talk over him during meetings and even other people. And he said he's not advising shit. He's not advising anybody, that he does not care. He came to the house alone. He's going to play his game. He does not care that next week there's going to be a new head of house. Everybody will move on. He also complained about how the housemates were wasteful of food, food supplies in the house, how they are unhygienic. so many nonsense going on in the house. And guys, there's been a lot going on in terms of the hygiene of the house. The place sometimes is scattered. You talk and talk and talk. People don't want to listen. How they drag their feet when the head of house summons them. During head of house meetings, when the head of house calls everybody for meetings, you know, people are talking over him. So in a way, it seemed like he was sort of blaming Jason J for allowing all of these things to happen and sort of labeling Jason to not be a good leader. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a lot. But as I said, I would love to hear your thoughts. So just go ahead and share the comment section below. And I will see you guys on my next video soon. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.